Why do we call a sausage in a bun a hot dog? Seriously, think about it. Who names food after a dog? That's either the worst marketing decision ever, or there's a wild story behind it. Spoiler alert, it's the wild story. German immigrants, Dachshund jokes, baseball vendors, and a cartoonist who maybe couldn't spell all collided to create one of America's weirdest food names. We're going to explore the complete story right here on Stories Behind Everything. Before we even examine the name itself, we need to begin with the food, the sausage. Sausages are extraordinarily ancient, genuinely ancient. Some historians suggest they date back more than 3,000 years, with references appearing in Homer's Odyssey. The concept was straightforward. Take meat portions, season them, stuff them into a casing, and you possess a compact, flavorful meal. Fast forward several millennia to Germany, where sausages became tremendously significant. Germans perfected numerous varieties: Bratwurst, Frankfurters, Wieners. The city of Frankfurt, Germany specifically, is frequently credited with popularizing the Frankfurter during the 15th century. Meanwhile, Vienna, Austria, contributed the Wiener. So when German immigrants arrived in the United States during the 1800s, they naturally transported their cherished sausages with them, and Americans embraced them enthusiastically. However, sausages weren't always the most convenient to consume while moving around. So someone conceived the brilliant idea of placing them inside a bun. That simple modification transformed the sausage into something portable, enjoyable, and ideal for fairs, picnics, and eventually baseball games. Initially, these sausages in buns weren't designated hot dogs. They were typically called Frankfurters, Franks, or Wieners, depending on the vendor's background. But here's where matters become intriguing. In the late 1800s, there was already a joke circulating about sausages. During that era, food safety wasn't particularly reliable. People harbored suspicions about what ingredients went into their meat. Rumors circulated that unscrupulous butchers employed all kinds of scraps, including allegedly dog meat. It wasn't accurate for most vendors, but the joke persisted. People would jokingly call sausages dog or Dachshund sausages, because the long, thin sausages reminded them of the Dachshund dog breed. That connection between Dachshunds and sausages represents one of the earliest origins of the term hot dog. To genuinely comprehend how the name gained popularity, you must visualize New York City in the late 19th century. German immigrants were vending sausages on street corners, often shouting to attract customers. They'd sometimes advertise Dachshund sausages as a playful nickname. These sausages were usually served extremely hot. Combine hot with Dachshund sausages, and you can begin understanding how the phrase hot dog might naturally have emerged. It wasn't an official designation initially, it was more of a slang expression, similar to how we might nickname foods today. Baseball played a surprisingly substantial role in popularizing the hot dog, both the food item and the name. By the 1890s and early 1900s, vendors were walking around ballparks with trays of sausages and buns. They were affordable, filling, and perfect for eating with one hand while cheering with the other. Now here's where one of the most famous and debated narratives appears. Legend claims that a cartoonist named Tad Dorgan attended a baseball game at the Polo Grounds in New York around 1901. Vendors were supposedly shouting, "Get your red-hot Dachshund sausages!" Dorgan, attempting to capture the moment in a cartoon, wanted to sketch the scene, but he didn't know how to spell Dachshund. So instead, he simply wrote hot dog. His cartoon, according to the story, made the name stick. Sounds perfect, correct? Well, there's one complication. Historians have never located that actual cartoon. Some claim it's lost. Others contend it never existed. But whether the cartoon was genuine or not, the story reflects what was already occurring. People were calling them hot dogs because the name was amusing, memorable, and simpler to pronounce than Dachshund sausage. By the 1920s, the hot dog was establishing itself as an American classic. Street vendors, Coney Island stands, and baseball stadiums all embraced it. The name hot dog appeared on menus and signage, and companies began marketing it that way. One of the most significant promotions came from Nathan's Famous in Coney Island. Nathan Handwerker, a Polish immigrant, started selling hot dogs in 1916 for just 5 cents each. His stand quickly became legendary, and his affordable prices made hot dogs accessible to everyone, not exclusively the wealthy. Nathan's success helped solidify both the food and the name in American culture. By then, any debate over the term was resolved. Hot dog wasn't merely a nickname anymore, it was the official designation. The hot dog's influence extended internationally in unexpected ways. American servicemen during World War I and II introduced hot dogs to Europe and Asia, where they were often viewed as quintessentially American. In Japan, hot dogs evolved into unique variations with toppings like teriyaki sauce and seaweed. Iceland developed its own version called pilsur, now considered a national dish, outselling hamburgers and becoming a symbol of Icelandic fast food culture. In Denmark, the pulsa stands became ubiquitous, while in Mexico, hot dogs are often wrapped in bacon and topped with pico de gallo. These international adaptations demonstrate how a food item born from German immigration to America circled back to influence global cuisine, with each culture adding its own twist to the basic sausage-in-a-bun concept. What's fascinating is how the phrase hot dog transcended just food terminology. By the 1920s and 30s, people began using hot dog as an exclamation, like saying, "Wow." It was cheerful, playful, and full of energy, just like the food itself. And naturally, hot dogs became tied to American culture in a tremendous way. They're at backyard barbecues, 4th of July celebrations, ballparks, amusement parks, and even competitive eating contests. And through all of that, the amusing name never changed. So the next time you bite into a hot dog, you're not simply eating a sausage in a bun. You're consuming a piece of food history, a story that stretches from ancient sausages in Europe to German immigrants in New York to baseball games, and even to a cartoonist who may or may not have existed at the right place at the right time. Thank you for watching. If you have ideas for our next video, please share them in the comments section below. We'll make sure to acknowledge your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through stories behind everything. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.